Hello Internet, this is Ben Westmorland.
And Victorans XD.
Me and Victor, we did a bit of work together not so long ago. Well, I was like a very little involved, but like an image of mine appeared in his recent show, Rojanks. So I'm gonna, just throw some questions at you, and we're gonna kind of just chat a bit, and yeah, see where we go from there.
Go ahead.
So your recent show, I gather from what you've told me, there was a bit of medieval inspiration behind that. Is that right?
Mhm.
Or yeah.
Yep.
What would there be like any specific references to medieval culture, or is it just like medieval culture in general?
Basically, it's kind of based on how our medieval ages were, except it's completely altered through. Imagine our medieval ages, but if basically every myth and legend was actually true, like how the way the animals were drawn in this way that they are in medieval ages, where they look completely like deformed, they're completely butchered. Like you would see like a lion and it's like some kind of unicorn looking thing, and so on, and all these like kind of fantasy creatures, they're all real in this world basically. So it's a kind of and the geography is entirely different too, so it's kind of a weird mix of how creatures were thought to be in medieval times and how they are here basically. It's like a warped version of reality basically. It's like all of mankind's kind of paranoias in a way, where they kind of feared different like sea monsters, like different creatures that were deformed into something. What if it became a physical world basically?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I would describe it. So the history is entirely different from ours, but very based on like the real kind of fears and different misinterpretations of animals and creatures that humans had at the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, the world you've created is very dark and very like a very thought out world, I'd say. Like all the concept art and all the promo art you've been posting on social media is like seems very detailed in
Thank you.
how you've like thought it out, how you've planned it.
It's what makes the world believable, it's like because I want people to not just like watch it and then that's it. Like people who really want to go deep into it, they can look at the background, they can see like, for example, the map will probably be somewhere in the background in one of the episodes. You will see it in the post separately, right? But if you really want to only focus on the show, it's gonna be there somewhere. I like putting like different stuff in the backgrounds, the details, and even with the opening scene there's a lot of announcements where you can see on the announcements different parts of different creatures, characters, etc. And if you read some of the announcements, you can actually like kind of remember later in the episodes that characters named like this and that appear later. So it's kind of like even the announcements are kind of like little teasers of what's to come and what's out there in the world.
Can you tell us a bit more about that? How you like kind of go about fitting these little miniature sets into the spaces you live in? Like how you get about that?
For sure. I was the way I was getting the materials, almost all of these are either just like taken for free or found somewhere. Some of these were just like abandoned paints from university that just people abandoned and never like took basically with them, like never returned and shit that I just picked up. Some of them were cardboard boxes that I picked off from a store that were just not needed, so they just gave it away for free. I did purchase the puppets, of course, and a lot of the things are mostly cardboard, so like the majority of the set. I basically used to, the way I made walls is I carved out 8 by 8 centimeter pieces of cardboard, and then I used like a X-Acto knife or some shit like that, and then I made low wear and tear, and then I of course painted it over a bunch of times with acrylics to give it a little bumpy concrete effect, like by tapping it on the brush, and I just painted it over and over again with like very loads of paint, so you can kind of feel the bumpiness of the texture in a way, and so it looks like it's a real life thing in a way.
A lot of shows, like including myself, I aim to use like more 2D fictional elements, but your shows obviously take place, although like very like bizarre and fictional, they do take place in real environments.
Yeah. It's very easy to make something realistic with stop motion because of this style. It's very hard to not nail a realistic feel. It really depends on the sculpting, like as long as you can make something look fleshy and believable. Like other than that, like environments themselves, they're pretty easy to make. with the set itself, the 8x8 pieces, like specifically, I wanted to make the walls look like they're made of blocks, as if like the building would be like basically realistically constructed from these different blocks. And we see in the opening scene, the first 3D shot, we see after like we get a shot of the city like from the top-down perspective, and then we get a shot of the crane that is carrying one of these blocks to like kind of indicate what the interiors are made of. And then we get into the interior, and then we see the entire place is made out of blocks. So it's also like part of a little environmental storytelling too.
We're gonna go back to a show you produced, like a mixture of live action and stop motion, I believe.
Oh,
If I
the Rick Zaddy one?
Yeah, the
Oh, yeah.
Vic's Diary. Yeah. Obviously, I feel like anyone who's watching it might wonder: is it like actually based in reality? Is it somewhere in between the fiction and reality? Because obviously it's based on you, Vic Diary.
Mhm.
So can you tell us a little bit about how you kind of like balance that line between fiction and reality?
Originally, it was like based on different dreams and like thoughts of mine that I had, but I decided to combine it a lot with the lore of mine, and I think it worked wonders because I made the main character basically like kind of myself and how I think as an artist, to explore these different themes through this character. And of course, I introduced the deity of the Marble Devil, who will appear later in the show, and the events of Vic's Diary are kind of like an events that took place in a real world, in one of these worlds basically, and they hint at the bigger picture. But yeah, it's both a mix of like, you know, my own personal experiences as an artist, like, and my own daily thoughts, but also at the same time kind of an artistic expression with the story itself, and kind of also a cautionary tale, these kind of things. Yeah, it's essentially like the overview of the story. It goes about like an artist who has weird visions and dreams of this weird deity that is trying to kind of manipulate him or show him something, but he doesn't know what exactly. And the real story is that he was basically like having all of these thoughts that we hear in the show, but he had them right before he died, and he died from like a heart attack because of over drinking too much caffeine, and that's why we see a lot of liquid, like black liquid, coffee, and etc. in ink, because it represents what he died from in a way. And the deity was trying to show him his corpse, but also show him a way to transcend his basically body by presenting him with an idea of immortality through his art, etc., but in a way that this deity makes it so that it can use his body basically. And in the end we see the result of it in the final chapter, Sickaholic, where the deity testing out this new body is basically manifesting itself as like different kind of thoughts of the main character, before it eventually forces him to also commit suicide to basically make them enter their domain also, which is purgatory, where also the body of the main character who gave himself to the Marble Devil is.
This episode, Sickaholic, was the one that really interested me when I watched Vic's Diary the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Was like how you put so many layers, like spoilers for anyone who hasn't watched it, but there's a bit at the very end when you being possessed by the Marble Devil, we see where the horns come out of your eyes.
Yeah.
And you have like sharp teeth, but it's inputted so well that I was like, I was like, how did he do that? It's these little things, like, as like, you know, editors and artists and stuff, that we really have to try and wrap our brains around. Like, how would that work in the program? Even with my stuff, which on you know, technical level is far more simplistic. It's like there's things with like node setups in DaVinci Resolve and things in Blender, like, I don't know, geometry nodes. It's just like I've never been good with mathematics. I never passed my maths grade here. A little bit of trivia.
Me neither, honestly, me neither.
Yeah.
I'm just managing without it.
Who needs to square to solve your taxes anyway? Trying to reverse logic and like hammer away at stuff like that interests me, even though it's a pain.
Stuff like with the horns, I had to basically animate his horns in stop motion, and then I would cut out each frame background for the horns basically, so it's a transparent PNG sequence of them very carefully. It was one of the like longest, I think, scenes to take, because I was very tedious with the process, and then in the end I think it turned out well, because I would basically put in all the frames to basically I would track the PNGs onto the face and use some mask layers basically to when he turns, and then I would flip them onto different PNGs. So it's like, it's the animation plays out, but the background is already gone, so it's way easier to input it there. And then it's just the rest is just masking and stuff like that, where you like cut out the part where the horns are like already reach the eyes and so on and so forth. So it's easier to have them clip on. The hardest part is really the tracking, because a lot of the times in After Effects, it's not that good at tracking, so I have to do it manually, frame by frame. So it's like me moving like the horns manually, bit by bit, like pixel by pixel, each frame. So yeah.
Oh no.
So it can take like a whole day to do like an effect like that, or a couple.
I did not know that.
Just how long. Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It is. I used a similar thing in Yerzhansk, where you can see like real life eyes on the character's face. It was also like a lot of manual tracking pixel by pixel for the face.
Yeah, I remember. I was really surprised, like in a good way. I was really surprised by that, because like I had just come off like seeing the stuff for your upcoming reboot of Mechanic Artwork, which was like like for the expressions of the characters was like a very different style. And then when this character comes down the stairs with like a fleshy, realistic face and very real eyes and mouth put on there, like it's almost like, oh, okay, well this is like definitely different. And it was like, I don't know, this like shifting identity between the shows and the universes, I suppose, is really interesting. Do you mind if we talk a bit about Mechanic Artwork? I know it's
for sure.
I know there's still like a lot of development going on here, and like I'm sure I'm not the only one who's probably asked when is it coming out. I'm not going to ask that, because I know it's like every artist hates being asked the exact deadline of their work.
Yeah, so whereas Yerzhansk is a more fantastical, this one is more a technologically advanced world, where basically robots were invented as war machines, and that's what started everything. And the Britain, as we know it, was more steampunk technology oriented in a way. And then, of course, a lot of major things happened and led to eventually like a big recognition of these robots called protectorates worldwide. And because a man came to power instead of like the man that came after Stalin, called Zamenhof, basically, and he was in charge of creating the protectorates, because he got the funding from the British government, and they created a plan together to conquer the world, basically. So once the protectorates were shipped worldwide, the event started that was called the Great Chemical War. And that's what basically led to the sky becoming the bloody red color, and the like horrible kind of infection spreading throughout that mutates all life forms in a way that it has something to do with Marble Devil, and just overall the way the worlds are run, and all of these different worlds like Yerzhansk and Mechanic Artwork are run, where one's main theme is definitely red and blood colored, and the other one is orange, but orange is also the color of blood for Yerzhans and other people. So it definitely has to do with divine blood in a way, a lot of these worlds.
Would you say there's some like biblical inspiration in your work?
Yes, there is definitely a lot of biblical inspiration. There is a hell and a heaven and a purgatory in this universe in general. In this whole, I would call it a cinematic universe, because but we never get to see the true overworld. We never get to see the real world. We only get to see worlds that were created by a middle deity that is neither god or devil. It's the like Marble Devil that was created by both of them. But Purgatory is a realm that houses many realms, basically. So it's like a world library of sorts. And all of these worlds are created and run by him, without the knowledge of God, basically.
I didn't think it would all be like based in the one layer. That's really interesting. So we're gonna move on to some pretty obvious questions, like what's your favorite movie, all that kind of stuff. But like obviously, you know, like you've said, like inspirations like David Lynch, that the new films that are coming out, like The Substance.
Oh yeah,
I remember
that
you
was such a
saying,
good one.
yeah. are there any films like coming up that you think would be a big inspiration on your work, just like hypothetically now?
I genuinely don't know what's coming out like nowadays because I am excited for whatever Robert Eggers is making next. But I don't think he will ever top his #1 movie, The Lighthouse, which
Yeah.
was an experience definitely.
Yeah.
I wish there were any Lovecraftian adaptations. I heard fucking what was his name? The director of the James Wan is making some kind of Call of Cthulhu adaptation, but I don't know how good that will be.
Really?
But I'm definitely looking forward to any Lovecraftian inspirations.
Yeah.
I wish Frankenstein by Del Toro recently was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I really wish Del Toro got to do Mountains of Madness, you know? He was gonna do that, but then he canceled the project because of budgeting or some shit like that. But yeah, I really love overall Lovecraftian movies or just some with Lovecraftian themes. It doesn't have to be like a direct adaptation. It just, yeah. There's a good movie called Beau is Afraid, which is really also a wild ride.
Oh yeah, I've heard about
so
this.
Good.
I've heard about this.
It's very good. It's very dreamlike, extremely dreamlike. Very surreal movie. It's definitely an experience if you like movies that are nothing like you've seen before.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to catch up. I have been sleeping on some of these films, honestly. One film I do want to see, which goes back in time a bit, is this is, bear with me, this is going to sound a bit odd. It's an Alice in Wonderland adaptation, simply called Alice, but it's a lot darker than.
Is it coming out soon?
No,
is it like a new thing?
It's already come out. It came out in the 1980s. But here's the thing, right? Like, you know, people think Alice in Wonderland. It's slightly creepy. You know, it's not really intended to be creepy. It's always like very childlike. But this
1988, I see.
I'll send you a clip later. It's nightmarish because the director.
Oh, it's by Young Schwankmeyer. Yeah, I should check this one out because I fucking love his works. He's very good.
But the thing is, he uses taxidermy, animal bones.
Yeah, he does.
Everything
he does.
in this
I love
film
his
is
works.
just like, it's organic, but in like a really kind of morbid way. Is there anything you can say to expect in future to your community, or is it all like very under wraps for now, like very behind closed doors?
Okay, I mean, definitely expect both pilots, Mechanic Artwork and Yerjans, because those are the next projects I'm definitely working on. But before those, expect there will definitely be videos for both Yerjansk and Mechanic Artwork that might be the ones that will come out next. Either that or proper teasers for the pilots. But there will be special videos that will showcase the characters of the show, basically.
So,
it won't show them entirely. It will like kind of shroud them in mystery still. We'll kind of see them in dark lighting, but we'll hear their voice. We'll see them partially. We won't exactly know their roles. So that's intentional, but we will get to be introduced to each character, which will leave the viewers to kind of wonder their role in the show, etc. So it will be kind of a meet the characters sort of videos.
Okay, well, you know, this has been really wonderful. I mean, we're going to keep talking hopefully after the recording's finished, but you know, thank you so much for, you know, coming on and just being so passionate about everything. It's really refreshing. Is there anywhere they can find you if you want to, you know, plug anything right now?
Oh yeah, for sure. You can follow me on YouTube, of course. It's Victorans XD. It's Victorans XD on Instagram. It's Victorans XD, honestly, everywhere. I have YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Honestly, all social medias that are subtly related to art you can think of. I post to most of them.
Victor, thank you so much. You're a legend. All right.
Thank you. No problem.